How are you doing, boys? Welcome back, and this is Uliana's set dungeon guide. And if you guys are up for a challenge, this set dungeon is actually pretty hard. It is goddamn challenging, believe me. It might take you a few attempts, but follow my guide to a T, and I guarantee you will eventually get it with a bit of patience and persistence. Let's start off with some objectives. We'll talk about this shit now. Two main objectives. Number one, simultaneously explode 21 enemies marked with exploding palm 3 times. So 3 times we need to get 21 enemies gathered together and explode them simultaneously. This sounds easy. This is goddamn hard, I tell you. The hardest part is the skeletons in this set dungeon. They're so spread out far apart that it's just hard getting them all together. And when you think you've got them all together, when you think you've got like 30, you explode them and bang, you might get 15 or 16 or something like that. It's hard. You'll see what I mean in a second, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it the easiest way possible. So with Cyclone Strike, it makes it possible. The other hard thing about this set dungeon is time. Time is against us. A lot of times you'll be spending a little bit of time trying to gather your mobs together, Cyclone Strike them together so you can explode them and get the objective, exploding them 3 times, and you'll run out of fucking time. I'm telling you, it happened that many times to me. It's not funny. But there's ways to counteract that and remedy that as well. Stick around, watch this video, and I'll tell you exactly how to do it. The second objective, take no fire damage for the duration of the dungeon, the set dungeon. You don't even have to worry about this one. I'm going to explain why in a moment. So we're just worrying about the one objective, which is 21 enemies exploding 3 times simultaneously. Then the other thing we need to worry about is killing all of the monsters in the set dungeon before time runs out. So 4.5 minutes, believe me, a lot of times we'll run out of time before we even uncover the entire map. But anyway, enough talking shit. Let's start going through the skills. We'll start with skills. Now we're using Crippling Wave with Rising Tide here. Basically, Rising Tide generates spirit, and we need spirit for this set dungeon. You will see that if you don't have Rising Tide, you're running out of spirit really quickly. Dashing Strike with Way of the Falling Star. Way of the Falling Star increases our movement speed. Our movement speed is absolutely buffed to the max for this because you have to move so quick in this set dungeon. Believe me, you're going to need it. 7-sided Strike with Sustained Attack. Cyclone Strike with Implosion. Implosion gives us a greater distance and pulls more enemies in towards us. Epiphany with Desert Shroud, and Exploding Palm with Shocking Grasp. Now, Shocking Grasp is a lightning rune, but it also, the reason we're using it, definitely not for damage, it's because Exploding Palm affects more targets. It arcs different targets around that area, so if you miss a target, or if a target isn't supposed to be affected by Exploding Palm, there's a bigger chance that it will be because we've got Shocking Grasp. It expands more is what I'm trying to say here. Definitely want Shocking Grasp there, and you'll see what I mean. You'll explode. We need to explode 21 enemies. When you give this set dungeon a go without a Shocking Grasp, you'll see that a lot of the times you'll explode like 19, 20. You'll miss out by 1 or 2, and this is the critical factor. Have Shocking Grasp, in there. For passives, we're using Guardian's Path. Fleet-footed, 100% definitely need this to increase our movement speed by 10%. Harmony, Survivability, Beacon of Yitar for cooldown reduction, and cooldown reduction is oh so important again. Talking about movement speed, make sure that you have 25% capped with your items and your Paragon points. Alright, make sure you have 25% between your items and your Paragon points, and this adds to that. And so does Dashing Strike. Obviously it stacks. Anything that doesn't increase your movement speed through items and Paragon points stacks on top of them, boys, if that makes sense. We're going to gear real quick. We're using 6 items of Uliana's. We're using the usual Uliana's weapons here for the typical Exploding Palm build, Lion's Claw and the Fist of Azaz. Now, one thing I have to mention, I'm using a random amulet and random rings, just making sure that we've got 8% cooldown reduction, alright? Only using Bane of the Trap gem. I've tossed out the 2 gems that I use for the ring and the amulet here because we have to decrease our damage as well, boys. You don't want to do too much damage because you don't want these enemies dying until you have a chance to explode them. alright, or blow them up. So 8% chance cooldown reduction, 8% chance cooldown reduction, 8% chance cooldown reduction. Get as much cooldown reduction as you can on your gloves, and get as much cooldown reduction as you can on your shoulders. I've left it at 7%. If you get 8, even better. Definitely the cooldown reduction gem in your helm, and anywhere else you can get cooldown reduction, put it in there, because we want to be using 7-sided strike as much as possible, dashing strike as well. Get cooldown reduction, it's absolutely critical, boys. Now, moving on to Canai's Cube, couple things that I mentioned earlier that were very, very important. Yep. So, Fly of Eternity weapon, doesn't really matter. Armor, we're using Krelm's buff belt. This increases our run speed by another 25%. Alright, so make sure that you're using Krelm's belt. This does stack on top of your item and your Paragon points cap. And jewelry, the Star of Askaranth. Make sure that you have this equipped. This prevents all fire damage in this set dungeon, so we don't have to worry about all these furnaces and stuff, the fucking fire coming out of the floor. If that shit touches you, you fail the set dungeon automatically. If you have this, it cannot do anything to you. You will not fail because you can't take fire damage. So either have this in Canai's Cube or have it in your amulet slot. It doesn't matter. If you have it equipped, just make sure you go for 8% cooldown reduction. Otherwise, it doesn't matter whether it's there or there, because you don't need much damage for the set dungeon. Skeletons will blow up shit easy. Okay, so that is it for preparation, boys. We're going to be moving really quick. Like, check out how quick the monk moves. Very, very quickly, ultra fast, and this is how quick we're going to have to move. We don't want to waste any time in this set dungeon. Anyway, enough preparation. We open up our map. We want to go to Act 5 and go down to the Survivors Enclave. Survivors Enclave. So it's just a camp in Act 5, and just work your way up straight away. Look how fast this monk moves. Sprinting. And go into the Zakaram Cathedral. Keep going up the cathedral, and in this corner here, boom! There's our set dungeon. We've already gone through the objectives, so we're just going to go on in here and fucking clear it out, complete it, and show you guys how to get the mastery. Let's do it, boys, together. And once we're in, dash immediately, because you know time is against you. Looks like we're off to a good start here. There's a nice big pack of skeletons. And you can see there's easily more, maybe not more than 21. Oh, 21 on the dot, boys. Shit. I could have sworn there was more than 21, but that's my point. Even when you think there's 30 around you, make sure that you use this Cyclone Strike and get that Exploding Palm on as many as possible. And use Dashing Strike whenever possible, boys, to get that movement speed increase. Oh, yes! I didn't think we'd get it that time. Holy shit. So we're off to the perfect start here. We've already got 2. It ain't always going to be like this, I'll tell you now. Because I've had a lot of attempts. I've had at least 20 attempts, and it ain't never been that good of a start for me. So I think I might have this. Usually there aren't many enemies in this fire furnace-y bit. Keep moving. And choose your moments really wisely, guys. You don't want to spend your crucial, critical time trying to Cyclone Strike 21 enemies together. Choose the really big packs when you know that you'll easily get your 21. And target those, because if you waste too much time, you will run out of time. And you'll see when we get this, if we get this, we ain't going to have much time to spare. It's a big map. We have to uncover all of it. Always another good couple packs. I think we might have our objective complete now, boys. I think we got it. Boom! Alright. That was more than 23. Fucking hell. Now, very importantly, now that you have your objective, your main objective done, we gotta move like the wind. In and out like the wind. We gotta move as quick as possible. Now we just have to complete the set dungeon and kill everything on time. This is where it just becomes a race. But it is good to have the objective out of the way early, and then you can just move. So dash, use your epiphany to morph around whenever you can. Activate that shit. These fire bits, like I mentioned, usually no enemies around there, so that's where you use your movement increase. Get through that shit as quick as possible. Come on, come on, come on. The other absolutely devastating issue is you get to the end of your set dungeon and you're missing like 1 or 2 enemies. That happened to me that many times in this, it's not funny. Keep your eyes peeled, make sure you uncover every little blacked out area on the map, and keep a lookout for skeletons that are lingering away from a pack. Often they may not die, they may not be part of the exploding palm explosion, and that fucking sucks. But this is a good spot to be in. We just need to finish, just need to kill everything and finish on time. 40 seconds, we're going good. Going really good. I'll be devastated if I've missed an enemy. 7. 4 more monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're here, boys. We got this. We got this. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. Fuck yeah. I've never ever had that much spare time in this set dungeon. I guess what really helps is getting the first hardest objective out of the way quick like I did. Then it's just a race. So yeah, maybe reset your set dungeons a few times until you get a really good couple starting packs like I did. But boys, that is how we do it. Don't forget your speed increases. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to keep coming back to Panic 13. I will keep pumping out these Diablo 3 videos, boys. Just show your support, subscribe, leave me a comment, and make sure you keep coming back. See you all again real soon.